All right, guys, this is Matthew Wells for MMALatestNews.com. I'm here with Dominique Robinson and his trainer, Otis. How you doing today?
Doing all right, man. Tired, physically, more mentally than anything. Been going through a lot of ups and downs like everybody in life, but getting through it.
All right, so your last fight was against Joe Stevenson under Shane Mosley's new promotion.
Yeah.
So how did that fight go? What were some of the things you took away from it?
The fight went well. I was coming off of a long layoff. I had my second spine surgery. Everything changed up from a lot of people that know my MMA background. I was training myself all this time. I made it all the way up to 42 world ranked on my own, and I linked up with Otis Pimpleton Jr. here in the Mayweather team, the money team, and it's been a big change having somebody behind me like Otis. He was trained by Roger Mayweather, so the lineage is real good. And Otis hooked me up with Dewey Cooper, former K1 kickboxer, and between those two, in Dewey I have a real good trainer and everything like that for my Muay Thai, and he knows a lot of MMA aspects. And then Otis comes from, like I just said, a long lineage of boxing and the roots of, the Mayweather family, which of course is the top family right now in the current boxing. And Otis is more than a trainer. He's almost like a father figure and a mentor and everything else too. And he's the guy that you miss training, he'll come by your house late at night, make sure you get it in. If you aren't in the gym, he'll call you. First text you get in the morning, he's saying wake up, and he's checking on you just in regular life besides. So going from, doing everything myself to having, a trainer and a mentor, and then just a good trainer in Dewey, and having, good teammates here like Memphis, Linnell Bellows, my boy Clint Cornell, James Shaney, and just a support system. It's been a big difference. And in that fight, I noticed it. I didn't feel like I had any time off. I dominated 4 of the 5 rounds. You know what I mean? I cracked the guy's orbital, broke 3 ribs, 5 lacerations, just tore him up. Only thing I had was my eye got poked out. Yeah. I felt a few things off, like I could have done better. I was too hesitant, worried about his takedown instead of trusting my takedown defense, but I got more comfortable as the fight went on, and I think next time I'll start faster. And anybody else would have been knocked out. Yeah. I give it to him. He told me backstage he blinked out totally 5 times. I don't know how the guy made it, but we won a title, main event pay-per-view, brought it home, and on to the next.
Awesome, very cool. Now, Otis, what are some of the things that you've seen in terms of improvement from Dominique since you've been with him?
Since he's been with us, his boxing skills has escalated, his strength and conditioning, he's more disciplined in what he's doing. He's adamant about getting up and getting the day going, and he plans to excel every day, and he likes to learn something new every day if it's brought to him.
Very cool. So what's the training schedule look like on a day in and day out basis?
Day in and day out, I train all of them as they come anyway. So if I have 25 guys, I just put everybody in their own regimen, and even if I'm not standing there with you, I'm looking at you continuously throughout the day and what you're doing, and I can actually critique you while you're on the bag and help you get it together. But I feel the main thing with training fighters is trusting each other.
Very cool, very cool. So, just tried out for The Ultimate Fighter, as I saw on your blog. Tell me a little bit about that experience, whatever you can speak on.
Okay. It was cool. My tryout, it was kind of different. It was basically a talk with me and Joe Silva. Okay. Because right now I'm probably me and Muhammad Khalidov are 2 of the most wanted people in the UFC by fans. We're like the 2 most known unknown guys out there. So I just straight up told him, like, hey, why ain't I in here? You signing all the guys I beat. And MMA, the more money that's in it, because I started when it was nothing in 2003. And he just basically explained, and this is some of the political aspect of it, as you guys, I'm sure who what team you're from, what college you wrestled at, all that stuff matters more than who you beat, because I beat all the people. And he told me straight up, man to man, that I have beat all the people. I have more charisma and I speak better on the mic than most people, and that everybody does want me in. But my fight schedule isn't what he wants it to be. And he asked why. And I told him I prefer to fight 5-6 times a year if I had it my way. But this can't be done if I'm ducking guys and then they're getting signed to the UFC, because I'm always there to fight, you know.
Or if guys are ducking you, rather.
Yeah, but it's a weird spot. I got caught in the worst spot you could get caught in, because the people above me, they're above me. They're going to aim for the people above me or the people below me that's easier to beat. And the people below me are aiming for the people above me that's actually easier to beat than me. So it's a hard spot. And that holds my schedule back. And then on top of that, I'm vocal. And if I don't sit there, if something, I get ripped off on money or something or everything, I'm a single dad. That takes away from my family. I'm vocal on these things. And a lot of the promoters don't handle things the right way. So they don't want to give the vocal kid, you know, the chance. So it's a myriad of different factors. Then I had spine surgery from somebody hitting me in the car. So, you know, I had that took away 2 years of my career. And then I come back and I beat 3 of their people. But he just basically told me, because I told him, you signing guys that's 8-0 versus 8 bums. Well, I'm beating your people. And he's like, hey, it's the busiest division in the UFC, and even if they fight 8 bums, they're busier than you. And he just gave it to me straight up. And I'm happy we clarified things, because I thought he had a personal problem with me. And he just said, hey, get on it. And he had my blessings with tough. So my tryouts kind of were just a talk with Joe Silva, and everything went. They went as good as you could say. I was the top seed of that whole thing, and I just have to leave it at that till our next interview later on when the show starts. So.
Okay, very cool. Hopefully there's some good things that come out of that. So going forward, obviously we have the tough things that we're waiting for. Where do you see yourself a year from now?
I see myself a year from now, hopefully top 20. You know, Bass Ruud and Pat Miletich are mentors of mine, and of course UFC Hall of Famers. Bass getting introduced Hall of Fame this weekend, you know, finally, long overdue. And those guys helped me behind the scenes with my career more than people ever know, as busy as they are. And Bass is actually helping me set up some things too, you know, just in case tough for the UFC stuff don't work out right now, and I have some other big things with Japan lined up too, as far as shoot boxing and pancrase. So I'm just gonna try to knock out as many fights as fast as possible. Probably only realistically 1 or 2 more. If I go to Japan, I want to just get that belt, because it's been a goal of mine for a while. And then after that, have my management hit up Joe Silva and say, hey, let's do this. And I have a whole list. I have a order of who I want to fight in the UFC. So,
okay, give me some of those names.
You know, first of all, Efren Escudero. That guy ducked me like 55 times. No, I was calling him out. You know, I'm not one to talk shit. Yeah. You know, but my roommate James Chaney from Ultimate Fighter 16, he was like, man, maybe everybody getting stuff through Twitter, start hitting these guys up on Twitter. I'm like, all right. So I hit him up on Twitter. And he sends me like the emoji winky face back, and I'm like, hold on, that ain't an answer, dude. So
he send you the duck too?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was bad. For some reason, it angered me too. You know, I was like, can I get an answer? So my manager got his manager number and actually spoke to his manager like, hey, I want to fight your dude. His management was like, I'm down for that. I'm confident he'll beat you. I'm like, cool. Put it together. He's like, okay, I'm gonna ask him. And then it never happened. So then I hit him up again. I'm like, your management said it's cool. What's up? And then he sends me a winky face. And then, you know, the time is now in the UFC's biggest conference. I took the whole thing over to where it was the time is chocolate, you know. So, and then after that, I mentioned it in there. And he goes on Twitter and lies and says, none of our interactions ever happened. And I'm like, come on, dude. So he's one of them. And then 2 of them, I don't even care about fighting no more, because one of them went to UFC after ducking me and lost twice and got kicked out. And the other one lost, won, and lost. You know, I fight Joe Proctor. You know what I mean? I go after him too. You know, I want to start with, and no disrespect to the people, the bottom tier guys, right, so I could get used to that atmosphere. And then after that, I'm ready to jump up to anybody, because a lot of people don't know the top 10. I've trained with most of them, and let's just say I ain't never been the one getting done up. So
It's on Conor McGregor versus
You know
Chad
what?
Mendes.
I have to be honest, if I'm on the Greg Blackson, the Dominique Robinson wants Conor to win.
Okay.
And I actually had him stylistically beating Jose Aldo.
Okay.
So I had him winning that. He had a size advantage. He's a southpaw, and a lot of these guys in MMA, they don't understand how to fight southpaws. They have no concept of the art of boxing, and that's why I'm here with all these guys in here and my coach, because, you know, one of the things we work on a lot specifically is southpaws, and we learned the art. And you know how they say strikers in MMA, you see they don't call in these people boxers or kickboxers, because they're not. You know, you put them in there in a boxing ring or a kickboxing ring, they get tore up. Having little gloves and just heavy hands, you knock guys out, so they presume you know an art when you don't. And Conor actually has a concept of the art of boxing, and Jose has a concept of the art of Muay Thai. These are some guys who understand it, but his boxing, he has a higher understanding of that art, and he has some understanding of Muay Thai enough, I feel, to hold Jose off. And he has a 74-inch reach and 5'9" at 145.
Right.
You know, 74-inch reach, if you look at it anatomically, somebody 6'1", that's a reach of someone 6'1". I have that same reach, and I know the advantage it gives me at 55, so imagine 45, and Jose gets hit too much. Everybody is saying, like, this shitty logic. They're saying, oh, he's never fought a wrestler, that's his weakness. But if he's never fought a wrestler, that means it's a question mark. We don't know. He can have bulletproof takedown defense.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping he does, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, Chad Mendes is the worst person to test that on, you know? So
yeah, he's arguably the best wrestler in all of the UFC. So it's going to be a pretty interesting thing to see how it goes down. What is your take on that fight?
I'm just on the outside looking in. I'm learning about the MMAs. I'm pretty much walking through it with blinders on, but when he tell me somebody to look at specifically, I really get into it and I learn a lot more about what they're doing and not doing. So really, I don't care who wins, as long as he wins.
The other championship fight on that card that nobody's really talking about, and I'm sure that those guys appreciate that because they're quieter. Rory MacDonald versus Robbie Lawler.
yeah. Man, that one, the first one was rough. You know, the first one was rough. And I had Robbie clearly winning that one, but they gave it a split. But they gave my Joe Daddy fight a split and destroyed his body, you know? So it's just the way those judges are. And trust me, I know, because I'm just getting angry right now. All my losses have come from bullshit decisions, but every time I talk bullshit decisions, I get mad. But I think Robbie should do it this time because I've seen more growth in him as a fighter. You know, it's kind of like, it reminds me, you know, Robbie was the guy with the hands, just like Vitor was. And then Vitor, when he fought Marvin Eastman and he used knees, everybody's like, whoa. And then we saw that evolution in Robbie. Then Vitor started using kicks and TRT and whatever else he's doing. But, you know, we're like, whoa. And Robbie started getting these head kicks and everything, and you're like, okay. And then he started shoulder rolling and his cardio. You know, he used to get tired back in the days, you know, when you watch him in Hawaii and everything, and now he just goes and goes. And I feel like I've seen less evolution out of Rory. Like the fight with Damian Maia didn't impress me. I don't know if you remember that. He was tired, you know, and it just didn't impress me. And then especially when Rory is fighting these guys who he clearly is like 2 levels above. He's wearing them out, dogging them out. They're tired. They're sitting there as prey at that point. And he's decisioning these guys. And the only person he beat was Tarek Safradine. Out of all these guys, he finished 1. And it's like, you know, like my boy Bellows right there. You put somebody in front of that guy, he trying to take their head off. If that guy didn't train right and he's worn out, he's gonna finish him. You put somebody in front of me and I wear him out, I'm gonna finish him. So the fact that he's not finishing these dog-tired guys, I just think that lack of, you know, incentive to get things done with Lawler. You remember when he fought Johnny Hendricks the second time after the final bell rang, he walked him down like, hey, what's that? You know, that's just a whole different, that's an animal mentality, you know, and you can't be all timid, and a rabbit ain't gonna beat no fox, you know, and that's the way I look at it. And he a Pisces like me, we get down, you know, so.
So one other thing I've noticed from you got a strong presence on social media. You're very active on there, on Twitter, on Instagram, and everything like that. You know everything about what's going on in Las Vegas. So give me a little rundown on where we should go, where we should hit up.
Vegas this week, of course, you got the UFC Fan Expo. That's the thing everybody's looking at. But something else big is going on out here. MMA Junkie, which I'm a co-host to the radio show. They're getting ready for the 2000 show, and they're doing 4 days of like meetups for fans of the show and everything. People are flying in that want to meet the fighters. They're getting a lot of fighters for fans to meet, and to meet Gorgeous George and Goss. So they're doing certain events too. So that would be a thing to do. Like tonight, they're doing one. Circus Olay do everything to the Beatles music, you know, and that's their first thing tonight. And a lot of fans are flying from all over the U.S. going to that, and then tomorrow they have something the day after. So I would say the expo stuff, and of course the fights. They have 2 UFC events, right? Saturday, Sunday, and then plus the MMA Junkie things, and that's the way to go this weekend.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. I think that'll do it for this interview. For MMA Latest News, I'm Matthew Wells. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Otis. Appreciate it.